What's up everybody? Welcome to the Stocks channel. My name is Corey and today in the stock market we had a flat day from open to close, but it was a very whipsawing and volatile day intraday. First up, let's take a look at the S&P 500 SPY ETF. So let's crack open this chart. See what's going on in the stock market today. Alright, so today in SPY we were up 0.04% and we had a very flat close on the open. Now we are near a very strong support level at SPY 438 and we did close 3 cents below that level. So we are testing very critical support and so far we are not decisively breaking below that level. So just as a recap, it's still very possible that we are getting this zigzag pattern, which does mean if we can hold above these support levels, we could retest the previous all-time highs and possibly even form brand new ones. So from here, by far the most critical support levels on SPY will be 438, 433.5, and then the last line of defense for the bulls will be at 428. But if we do start closing below 433, it is very likely no longer going to be the bullish scenario. So the other thing to keep in mind that in the short term we are in a downtrend, but in the longer term, if you zoom out, this is still possible that we're trying to put in a higher low after we already did put in a higher high. So if you're following market structure, you know that bull trends are higher highs and higher lows. And so far we do have the higher high and we could be potentially putting in that higher low. So if you're getting overly bearish at support, you might want to consider waiting for the price action to break below these levels, because below these levels it is very likely going to be a higher probability chance that we are entering a bear market. But above these support levels, this could still be a bull market, albeit just a very volatile period, which is going to trick a lot of people, and that's why there was a lot of whipsawing in the price action today. So try not to be part of the whipsawed crowd getting chopped around in intraday volatility. Make sure you know exactly what you're going to do if these levels break down or if these levels hold up and we start bouncing at support. So you now know the 3 critical support levels, so the most critical resistance above those support levels will be the breakout back above 444, and then the next time we start closing above SPY 450. We do have that gap to fill at SPY 446, so that's also going to be potential resistance. But if we start seeing SPY breaking back above 450, we will very likely develop a bull trend, and that does increase the probabilities we're going to break out and get that bullish breakout above 462. So above 450, look for strong resistance right around 458, and then the bullish breakout and confirmation of the bull market will be the next time we start closing above 462. So at this point, all of the risk is baked into these support levels below, so you can still take long trades even though we are in a downtrend. Jumping over to the NASDAQ 100 triple Qs, we were up 0.08% today, so very similar to SPY with a flat close from the open, but we did have a very volatile and whipsawing day. The most critical support levels from here on the triple Qs is right around 335, and there is also a very critical level about $1 lower around 334. If we start closing below triple Qs 334, it is very unlikely that we are going to see the bull market scenario, so that is a very critical line in the sand that you need to pay attention to on the triple Qs. Below triple Qs of 334, we're very likely retesting the lows at 318, and below that, you're looking for the gap fill at 315. Now, there is still the possibility if we do bounce off of these support levels that we could still enter a bull market, but we still will need to see the bullish breakouts with the critical breakout above resistance at 347 and our 50 EMA, which is now at 352. By the time we start getting above 357, we'll likely fill the gap at 360, and we'll get that bullish breakout when we start closing above about 363 to 365. So there is a lot of resistance to the upside, but there is also 2 gaps to fill, so watch those gaps right around 349 and 360 if we do start to break out above resistance. Now, if the price action starts breaking below this support level, you need to be very cautious that we're continuing into a bear market. So by far, that's going to be the most critical support, and it will require high volume selling to break down through that level. So continue to watch the price action and the amount of volume that we're getting during the selling. If we see low volume selling and we're holding above support, this could still be a bear trap, given there is a lot of bearish sentiment right now, and there is going to be a lot of people trying to short this market because they're fearful. On the Dow Jones, we were down 0.06% today, and the Dow Jones did close back below all the moving averages, but we are still above this critical support level at 340. As you can tell from the chart, the Dow Jones is holding up a lot better than the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, and that is because the S&P 500 is mostly weighted by the tech sector, and the tech sector has been the weakest. So you can see some relative strength here in the Dow Jones, so as long as it's above 340, it is still possible it's going to get that zigzag breakout. The bullish breakouts will be the next time we start closing above 345 and then 347, and the bullish breakout above the resistance trend line will be a close above 350. Above that, we have resistance at 353, 356, and that gap close up there at 360. So if we get the bullish breakout, you're going to instantly want to start looking for that gap fill at 360. So that is going to be the critical price target. Now, if we start breaking down below the support at 340, that will be a bearish breakdown and we more than likely will start to develop a bear trend. So get a lot more cautious if we lose support at 340 with strong support below that at 333 and 330. On the Russell 2000 small caps, we were down 0.67% today and we're still closing around that strong support zone right around 197. And we still do have the gap to fill down below at 195.7. So if we close below that gap fill, you're looking for a retest of the lows at 193 and 191. But if we get a bullish breakout, you're going to start seeing closes above 203. And then the next bullish breakout above that will be at 208. And we should be back in a bull market if we start closing above 212. So those are your 3 critical resistance levels. And your very strong support that needs to hold up is going to be right around 195.7. And if we want to form a higher low, we need to stay above 193. Below these levels of support, we're very likely continuing into that bear market. So be very cautious if we start breaking below 193. On the ARKK ETF, we were down 2.78% today. So we continue to see the ARKK bear market roaring on, which means we're very likely filling this gap at 54.7 before we can go any higher. If that level acts as support, it's very likely we could bounce and start heading up there to close the gap at 66. But we're not getting bullish on this ETF until it starts closing above 71. So it's a bear market until it's not, and don't get bullish until we start breaking and closing above that resistance at $71. You have resistance on the way up to fill that gap right around 63, and the 50 EMA is just above the gap fill at 67. If we lose the support at the gap fill at 54.7, look for a retest of the lows at 52, and we still will have strong support at $50. On the VIX, we were down 2.38% today, so we are seeing the VIX struggling to break out above 24, which is going to be a bullish development. However, we're not bullish until the VIX closes below 20, and there's still the possibility the VIX remains elevated, never closes below 20, and then does spike out back above 24. So in the bear market scenario, we'll lose those support levels as the VIX is breaking out, and then you'll know to look for the bear market scenario. However, if the VIX starts crushing below 20, you'll instantly want to be getting a lot more bullish, because if the VIX starts closing below 20, that means fear is leaving this market and we could be heading right back into a bull market and reestablish a strong bull trend. On Bitcoin, we're currently up 2.6% and Bitcoin is starting to bounce off of this previous low right around 39,000, and we are seeing some volume spike on the buy. So while this is still not bullish until we get back above 42,000, you never want to ignore high volume buying. So right now it does look like support at 39,000 is becoming critical, but the only critical level of support that we know for sure is down here at 37,000. So while we're trading below 42,000, there's still the possibility we're coming down to support at 37,000. And if we lose that support at 37,000, we could be coming all the way back down to retest support at 30,000. So you can get bullish off of 39,000 if that's where you want to set your risk. But I don't suggest getting bullish on Bitcoin until it can prove itself by closing back above 42,000. The next bullish breakout above that will be a close above 45,000, and then we should have bullish confirmation of a bull trend when we close back above 48,000. On NVDA stock, we were up 2.47% today, and NVIDIA is starting to bounce off of this very strong support level right around 210, but we are still below the 5 EMA. So this is a very strong support level that we could bounce off of and start breaking out and closing these gaps above. So look for resistance at 223 and the gap close at 230. And if we can break above 230, you're looking for very strong resistance at 244. And above that, you're looking for the gap fill at 258. Keep in mind that NVIDIA is developing some bearish trending. So if we lose this support level right around 209 to 210, you're looking for a retest of the lows down here right around 197. If we do start to break out back above 244, that will be bullish. So if we start closing above 244, we could reverse the bear trend and actually start developing some bullish trending. On Tesla stock, we were up 1.96% today, and Tesla is holding above this very critical support level right around 975. And we do have the 50 EMA of support right around 970. So the next bullish breakout on Tesla will be a close above 1037, and we still do have resistance at 1065 and a gap to fill at 1087. And if we can get above that gap fill, you're looking for a bullish breakout above 1150. Now, if we lose the support level at 970, we still do have very strong support at 937. But below that, we're likely losing the bull trend, and we could break down and come back down to retest the lows right around 900 to about 883. On Apple stock, we were down 0.13% today, and Apple is struggling to hold up above the support level at 165, but so far it is holding above that level. If we lose support at 165, you're looking for a retest of support at 162, and below 162, we are likely going in through a deeper correction, which means we'll retest 157 or the lows down here at 150. So you can stay bullish above these support levels, but we really shouldn't be getting overly bullish on Apple until it can start closing back above 168. So the bullish breakout at this point will be a close above 168 with resistance above there right around 171, and we still do have that gap to fill just above 174. On the financial sector, we are up 0.6% today, and the financials are struggling and starting to look like they're breaking down, so they need to get back above 37.5 to maintain support. Otherwise, they're going to develop a bear trend and start breaking down, which will be bearish for the market as a whole. On the industrials, we were down 0.35% today, and we still see price action below all the moving averages, so don't get bullish until we can close back over the 50 EMA, and then you can look for that gap fill above at 106. On the healthcare sector, we were down 1.1% today, and we did slice down through the 20 simple moving average, but we still do have the bull trend. If we could bounce off support, we may be able to hold on to that bull trend. Otherwise, look for the healthcare sector to start rolling over as we could retest the 50 EMA. On the energy sector, we were up 1.47% today, and we are still in the bull trend, and we still do have bullish price action as we continue to push higher to new 52-week highs. We hit our price target at 81.3, so if we get a bullish breakout from there, we could continue to run higher. But if we start closing below the 20 simple moving average, you will want to get ready for the correction in the energy sector. So jumping back over to the S&P 500, we are at very critical support levels across the market. And if these levels do start to break down, you will want to be looking for a possible bear market scenario. As long as these support levels are holding up, the bull market scenario is still very real, and this could still be a very deep retracement before we go right back into another bull trend. So try not to get overly bearish at these support levels, but if we do see price action slicing through these support levels and you start seeing the VIX closing above 24, you will want to start preparing for a potential bear market. So let the price action dictate where we're going from here, and you're going to know it because we will start seeing the price action slicing through support if we're going to a bear market, or we're going to start seeing a very impulsive bounce off of these support levels if we're going to a bull market. Also, don't forget that I do have Bank Trade Alerts, which is an algorithm-driven trade alert service that only trades the ETF TQQQ and sends all of your buy and sell alerts directly via email and text message. All of this market volatility is the best time to be a bank member. If you're looking for more information or want to learn how to subscribe, you can find out more information by clicking on the link in the description of the video. I also have the Stocks Channel Discord where I do intraday updates and analysis and bring new trade ideas to you weekly. If you're interested in joining the Stocks Channel Discord server, you can find out how to join by clicking on the link below. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you're crushing this market. And as always, I will see you in the next episode.